Many nutrition coaches struggle to launch and grow their nutrition coaching business. Precision Nutrition released their nutrition coaching business Kickstarter to help you with exactly that. So after watching this review, you will know exactly the content of the course and if it can actually help you build the business of your dreams. Hi, my name is Robin, and many nutrition coaches struggle to feel confident when they're working with their clients. So on my channel, I share the mindsets and skills needed so nutrition coaches can finally trust themselves, get their clients amazing results, allowing them to build a successful nutrition coaching business. So you want to build your business, but is PN's nutrition coaching business Kickstarter really worth the money and the 8-week time commitment? And that's why we are here. We will talk about what you will actually learn, how it can help you grow your business, and if the program is as good as PN actually promises. After this review, you will know who this course is for, who this course is not for, and what potential alternatives are out there. We'll talk about the key features of the Nutrition Coaching Business Kickstarter. We will then go through each week, see what is really good, what is kind of helpful, and what could be better. And in the end, I share my personal recommendations who should get this program and who shouldn't get this program, and also what you can do instead. So the key features of the Nutrition Coaching Business Kickstarter. So it's an instructor-led course to grow and launch your nutrition coaching business. 8-week digital content, weekly coaching sessions, video learning, cheat sheets, done for you scripts, and templates. And it allows you to market your business in a natural way. It shows you how to discover and how to deliver premium coaching services, and you get proven change coaching methods, systems, and mindsets. And all of that currently for $394. There are discounts if you're a Pro Coach member or a PN Academy member. So let's see how PN actually delivers on these promises and if they've done a good job. So week 1 starts with why you want to be a coach and why it matters. And what I enjoyed about this lesson was really it gives you the deeper reason why you're doing this, and it helps you over time find again the motivation to sit down, go through the course and do some of the tough exercises to actually drill down what you want to do. And from there, it helps you craft your brand. And this is really about finding your ideal client, finding the niche you want to work on. And also the idea of the blue and red ocean. So it's the idea of, okay, there are people like PN who are very well established, who are talking about the nutrition science and behavior change. And if you try to focus on nutrition science and behavior change, you're competing with PN, which can be tough. But there are small niches and areas, blue oceans, where there's no competition. And this lesson helps you a little bit to identify how you can bring a unique spin on some of these topics or areas that you want to work on, so you actually have barely any competition. The price calculator for me was really the highlight in this week because it really shows you how much you should charge for your businesses when you put all the information together, like how many clients you want, what are your expenses, what is your financial goal, how much you want to make with your business. So that really was the highlight. But I think there are also a couple of things that they can do better. So something that I think really is lacking is the focus on self-reflection. So all the questions around your niche are really your thoughts, what you think is your niche's problem. And we often struggle to understand the problems of other people Because when we look at other people, we often only see the superficial problems, but the real problems are often a lot deeper. So I would actually would have liked to get some additional ideas of how can I dig deeper and understand the real struggles of my ideal clients. So it's not just what I think, but also I get real information not maybe from my ideal clients exactly, or I get some ideas of how I can figure this out. So it's not just my ideas. Then I think the content often is lacking inspiring results. Inspiring examples, because they're asking you to identify your ideal client and your values and what you want to stand for with your business without actually giving you a complete great example with all the answers and all the different ideas. Maybe even showing how precision nutrition positions themselves. What are their ideal clients? What are their values? What do they stand for? Because we are here because PN is really inspiring. So if we can take that and bring our own spin to things, we would have so much more clarity and don't need to rely on ourselves. Another part that may be minor, but I think is really important, are phrases like jot down a few ideas. Personally, I think you have to jot down at least 10, maybe 20 ideas for different niches, different values, different whys to actually get to the bottom. Because if you jot down a few ideas, these are the things that immediately come to mind. But only if you sit down and really think about it and take your time, you actually get to the bottom of better understanding who you really want to work with. And lastly, and this might be a minor change, is you have a great case study where you learn about some business struggles of M&E, but the case study doesn't go back and give you a prompt to, hey, reconsider your own approaches, reconsider what you have written down about your ideal clients, about your values, what you want to stand for. So I think if you have such a great case study, then give us, the user, the prompt to actually go back and review what we have done so far, so we can actually dig deeper and understand deeper what we do. Week 2 is about defining your business. So your time investment, that actually means, are you offering 2 coaching sessions per week, 2 coaching sessions per month, how you can charge for these different packages. So you have a low, a middle, and a high offer, a premium offer. I really enjoyed these lessons because they gave you lots of examples and helped you understand how changes in check-in frequency, for example, leads to higher prices because you're investing more money into more time into the program. I also like the discussions around the inner roadblocks of charging more, and the lesson on legalities and technicalities was a really nice overview. On the other hand, I still think there are lots of room for improvement. So, for example, the lesson stories that tell create a compelling narrative. I think this is super, super shallow, and you don't really get an idea of what stories are about. So if I think about precision nutrition and if I think they're doing a lesson, I think about the Krebs cycle, where you get every tiny interaction, every single step. And the story that sells, this lesson was really more like a rough article. So by watching a video about StoryBrand, you on YouTube, a free video, you would actually learn a lot more, I think, how to create compelling narratives. And what I find quite disappointing, They have on their sales page this part of build a killer website, learn how to write magnetic sales pages, coach bios, and more that help you stand out from the pack, even if you're not a writer. But they're not doing that. What they're doing is they give you a couple of ideas of how you could adjust the pro coach sales page. There's nothing about building a website. There's also not really a part of digging deeper into this idea of stories. So I personally found this quite disappointing that they're telling you build a killer website, but it's really adjust your pro coach sales page. And if you don't want to use pro coach, this lesson is almost useless for you. And also the part of legalities and technicalities. It was a rough overview of what you need to think of, but they had a nice template that was okay, but they don't really have links to insurances, any recommendations. They don't really talk about how can you learn about privacy and data security in your country. So this was really more like, oh, you have to think about this, you have to think about this, you have to think about this, without really giving clear direction of where you can find these informations. And also the waiver they offered wasn't edible, and it was actually branded by one of the course creators, what I thought was kind of odd. And the last part, they're talking about templates and scripts, but there's no script on increasing your prices. So if you already have clients or you're currently building your clientele and you notice, I need to charge more, they don't give you any information on how you can communicate higher prices. And if my headline is I'm giving you templates, scripts, and cheat sheets, I would expect something on how I can communicate higher prices. Week 3 was all about attracting clients through content. It was a nice discussion on where to post, how to post, what to consider, if social media, for example, is a good option, or maybe a blog. Then also how to go through this process of attracting potential clients, maybe getting their email address, and then keeping in touch with them. So it was really on the general mindset of content creation and the process. And it was also a nice lesson on tracking your leads and tracking engagement with your content. But I think this week was personally really disappointing because there were no specific tips on content creation, like how to write compelling headlines, how to structure a social media post. There was a lesson on writing emails, and you were asked to write 3 different emails, but there were no tips at all, no scripts, no templates, nothing. So there was emails are important. Write a welcome email with no no instructions. Then there were no tips on setting up email software. So they talk about the importance of following up using email software, but there are no tips on setting up email software. Also, what I kind of feel odd, there was this push towards email software, which is a great tip, but the Pro Coach sales page doesn't integrate with email software. So you have the sales page and you have email, but they're not connected. They had no scripts or templates on social media interactions, or the ones that I saw were really thank you so much for engaging or thank you so much for the question. And they talked about tracking engagement, but they didn't explain what is actually valuable. Is having many likes or many saves more important on social media? And personally, I think it's really disappointing because PN, for me, is known for their great content, for really nice emails that are engaging to read, for great articles, for great social media content, but they don't give you any tips on how to do this yourself. And in fact, what I think is really disappointing, they talk about your unique business, what you uniquely bring, how you can delight, how they are saying, how you delight your clients. And then they share done for you social media content that is fully PN branded. As you can see, they're fully PN branded. The images are not edible. Again, there's nothing on how to actually create this kind of content. They're talking about the importance of using content to attract clients, but they're not telling you how to do it. And again, they're emphasizing the importance of creating a unique business so you are in this blue ocean, but then they throw at you general audience content that is not tailored in any way to your ideal audience. So I thought that was really disappointing and really not in line with what they're teaching. Week 4 was on sales and how to have sales conversations. What I really enjoyed was the lesson on the importance of listening for sales conversations and the mindset on rejections. So that when a client says no, there are many good reasons why they're saying no, and it often has nothing to do with your service. So this is what I really enjoyed. Again, they're promising scripts, templates, and cheat sheets as part of their program. But there are no sales scripts, there are no templates, there are no cheat sheets for sales conversations. And you can go to Google and type in sales script social media and you can download it for free. There's also, I think, at least I felt more confused about sales conversations than before. Actually, I felt always quite confident because they're giving you a lot of small tips that are kind of distracting, like in the lesson persuading and closing, using coaching techniques to seal the deal. They suggest things like offer them a bottle of cold water so they have an inclination to give you something back. And I feel like you're a PN level 1 grad. You don't need to offer them a bottle of water in the hope that they will give you something back. You can add true value as a PN coach. So I thought that was really odd, giving these tips of send them a booklet so they're more inclined to work with you, instead of actually showing how you as a PN coach can give them real value. And this is also again with the closing part, and the conversation closes on an elevator pitch. So there's this focus on listening and having a conversation, but then throwing at the potential client an elevator speech instead of showing how you as the coach can actually help them with what you have talked about. So again, I think there are some options to improve here. And in these lessons, you see this flowchart from you make a social media post, you have a little bit of a conversation, and then you follow up and offer to book a consultation. And this flowchart is absolutely right. But what I think is disappointing is there are no scripts, no templates, no mention whatsoever on how to transition a general conversation to a consultation. So as you can see in the bottom here, they offer you a script on how to discuss a meeting time on the phone. So they show you how to call your doctor and make an appointment. But what they are not showing you is how to ask for a client's number. And I think that is the real issue. How can I move a client from DM me to let's have a conversation to send me your email or send me your number. And then when I have the number, I'm able to make an appointment with them. But the actual difficult part of how to ask for the email address, how to ask for the number, how to offer the consultation, there are no scripts, no templates, no mention whatsoever on how to do that. And I thought that was really disappointing because it really missed the key question, the key part of how to go through this process. My final thoughts on PN's nutrition coaching business Kickstarter. They are trying to answer all the many questions that come up when you're trying to build the coaching business of your dreams. And it's a big project. But I think if they are selling cheat sheets, templates, and scripts, but don't offer or barely offer any, I think this is misleading. And for everyone who has done PN, and especially level 1, you notice they don't have a resource center in the course. So if you're telling us about all these great resources, why is there not a resource center? They're covering a lot of ground. So we are going from why do you actually start to defining your business. Well, who is your ideal clients? What are you actually offering in terms of check-ins and maybe products or whatever, to marketing, to creating content. But everything is really shallow. And again, if we compare the Krebs cycle and all the details that we had to learn in the science part of level 1, this is really a rough overview of a free article somewhere, I feel, in my opinion. And it often lacks direction on how to learn more. I mean, it's hard to teach how to create a website, but then at least give us a video or a book or another course that we can buy to create a website, instead of selling us the Pro Coach sales page that then doesn't integrate with an email software that you're not helping us to set up. So I personally, when I went through this, I often felt like I should know some of the things but they are just not covered. And also, as you may have seen, instructor-led means go to the Facebook group or go to the live sessions, but there's not an instructor who reviews your answers, who reviews what you're putting into this. Recommendations. Do the pros outweigh the cons? Is it a good price? Who is it for and who is it not for? Let's start with who is it for. If you're struggling to make decisions, if you're struggling to stay consistent when you're working on something, if you're struggling to organize yourself, organize the information that you need, then I think the PN Nutrition Coaching Business Kickstarter is a great option for you, because they're giving you a lot of structure. They're telling you exactly, do this today, answer this question, do this today, answer this question. So you go through the process and you learn a lot. But you also need to figure out a lot on your own, especially these technical things like setting up an email software, maybe setting up your own software if you don't want to use Pro Coach, things like this. So if you need guidance and structure and maybe something to stay accountable with, then I think this is a great option. On the other hand, if you're looking to dive deeper into specific topics like how to create content, specifically how to create social media content, how to write great emails, if you want to dive deeper into certain in certain business aspects, for example, how to really identify the real problems of your coaching clients or of your ideal clients. If you really want to dive deeper into the idea of stories, if you need technical support on creating social media content, creating images for social media, setting up websites and so on, then this is probably not a good program for you. And if you organize yourself well, if you can learn on your own, if you're self-motivated, I think you also get a lot more if you spend the $350 on a collection of great books. So if you can learn, if you get a resource from the outside and you can apply to your business, I think spending $350 on good books will give you a lot more value than you can actually get from the Nutrition Coaching Business Kickstarter. Thank you so much for watching. I've added a couple of videos on how to start your nutrition coaching business and how to create content. And also in the description below, I added a couple of books that I think are really helpful, really important if you want to dive deeper into questions like, how do I define my business? How do I market my business? Again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.